Welcome back to Hearthstone, everybody. My name is, yes, that's right, the basic warrior deck. So I've called this one POW because it applies 100% of damage to face. Well, it doesn't really, it has creatures as well. It's not all direct damage. But there's the mana curve. As you can see, it's a little bit light on the start, pretty heavy in the middle, and then a couple of things at the end. So this is kind of a middle of early game. It's not really mid-game, as you see. Most of it's stacked around that 2, 3, and 4, so you can get this stuff out pretty quickly. So let's take a look at the cards in the deck. First off, we start with Execute. Destroy a damaged enemy minion. Now, there's only one of those in there. A lot of the times, I would advise against putting one of a card in, because if you're putting a card in, it's basically because you want to draw it. And the best way to draw a card is to have as many of that card as possible in a deck, and because in Hearthstone you're limited to 2 cards of any type, I would always say go with 2 cards. But to be honest, this is kind of just, yeah, it's a nice card to have, but it's not particularly necessary. The one that it's kind of paired up with is Heroic Strike. And again, Heroic Strike, great card, but not really necessary to have 2 of them. So I mean, if you want, depending on your personal preference, you could maybe take out the Heroic Strike and go with 2 Executes, or take out the Executes and go with 2 Heroic Strikes. But to be honest, Execute's pretty good because it's destroy a damaged enemy minion, and Heroic Strike is good because it's give your hero +4 attack. And to be honest, there aren't really any other changes that I would make to this deck. So yeah, that's the toss-up. This is the way I do it, because like I said, having an Execute's just great for, say, you do a couple of damage to the enemy's, I don't know, massive creature with 10 hit points, and then just execute it. But then again, 2 mana to give your hero +4 attack to either do 4 damage directly to the enemy's face or to one of their creatures. Again, really good card. So anyway, on to creature number 2. We've got a Voodoo Doctor in there, just nice and simple. 2/1 attack. 2 attack, 1 defense, and it restores 2 health to you. You will be doing a lot of fighting in this. There are 4 weapons, 2 different ones. So you will, if you're attacking minions, you'll probably be taking damage. So Voodoo Doctor, just nicely in there. So on to the first weapon. 2 mana, Fiery War Axe. It's got 3 attack and 2 durability. So basically, the 2 durability means you can attack twice with it, and then it is useless. It goes into your discard pile. But I mean, 3 attack for 2 mana. Because obviously your hero doesn't suffer from summoning sickness. Well, that's a magic term. But your hero doesn't suffer from having to wait until the next turn. Once you've brought out this Fiery War Axe, you can use it immediately. I would just say, be aware that if you attack a minion and it has an attack value, it will do that damage to you as well. So there's no good going there and hitting like a 6/1 or something and think, yeah, I'm going to kill it, no problem. Just bear in mind that you will take 6 damage in return. On to the next card. 2 mana for Cleave, which is deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions. That's not 2 damage split between 2 random enemy minions, it's 2 damage to each of them. So again, that's pretty good coupled with Execute. If they've got 2 minions on the board, hit it with Cleave, you're going to hit both of them, and the one that survives, or if they both survive, execute the one that you want. Be aware that you can't use Cleave if they've only got 1 minion out. They need at least 2 minions for you to be able to use Cleave. Next on to Heroic Strike. We've already discussed this at length and why it's in there, but again, you can go for 2 Heroic Strikes as opposed to 1 Heroic Strike and 1 Execute, or vice versa. It's all personal preference, but I would go for it. Next is the Acidic Swamp Ooze. 2 mana for a 3/2 with the added bonus of destroy your opponent's weapon. Like I said, this thing is basically exactly the same as the Bloodfen Raptor, which is 2 mana for a 3/2, but you get the added bonus of that battle cry, destroy your opponent's weapon. So I would always recommend taking the Acidic Swamp Ooze over the Bloodfen Raptor unless you're doing a beast deck. Next we go on to Shield Block. It's gain 5 armor and draw a card. Obviously that's great for the draw card section, so you can get through your deck a little bit quicker, but also the gain 5 armor bit is awesome as well, because that will basically negate 5 damage that the enemy does to you. Armor is basically, damage gets applied to armor first, and then once armor's been taken out, the damage then gets applied to your hit points, and the hero power for the warrior is 2 mana to gain 2 armor, so armor's very good for this deck. Next we go on to Shattered Sun Cleric, a good staple creature, 3 mana for a 3/3 and give a friendly minion +1/+1. This deck's all about having board control with minions and applying plenty of damage to face, so this thing is really, really good. Next we go on to the Warsong Commander. Your other minions have charge. Now this is a bit, it's one of those cards like with the Priest deck with the Northshire Cleric. It's risky. You can bring it out, and if you've got, say, a Shattered Sun Cleric that you can use same turn to buff it to make it survive, use it. But I would just be wary that when you put it out, the enemy is probably going to make a beeline to try and destroy it, because your other minions have charge is a very, very powerful ability for only 3 mana. Especially when, say, next turn you can bring out Chillwind Yeti and 4 damage direct to face. What I would recommend, though, unless you've drawn this really early on, and you need to play it on turn 3 or turn 4 just to have some board presence, I would say hold on to it until you can play it at the same time as either a Shattered Sun Cleric or anything bigger like a Chillwind Yeti or the Frostwolf General. So you're looking at playing it around when you've got about 7 or 8 mana, because this is basically surprise damage, something that the enemy isn't expecting. You bring this thing out and then, say, bring a Chillwind Yeti out, and that's 4 damage straight to their face. Also, it doesn't matter what order you bring it out. If you bring the Chillwind Yeti out first and then the Warsong Commander out second, your Chillwind Yeti will still have charge. Because it's not a battle cry ability, it's just your other minions have charge. It's brilliant. Next, Chillwind Yeti. It's a good staple creature. 4 mana for a 4/5. It's got good strong stats. Next, the Kor'kron Elite. Again, good strong stats. It's got 4 attack. It's only 3 health, but it's 4 mana and it has charge by itself. So again, it's a surprise 4 damage that the enemy weren't expecting. Because a lot of time, the enemy will make your opponent, I keep calling them enemy, they're not really an enemy, they're just an opponent. Your opponent will make decisions based on what's currently on the board and what you're likely to summon, and then be able to attack with the turn after that. If they're a good player anyway, that's what they'll make their assumptions based on. So putting one of these out just screws up all of the plans, because it's an instant 4 damage direct to their face or one of their creatures. Next, Sen'jin Shieldmaster, because Sen'jin Shieldmaster. It's a 3/5 with Taunt for 4 mana, one of the best basic creatures that mana can buy. Next we have an Arcanite Reaper. It's 5 mana for a 5/2. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It's basically 5 mana for 5 damage, because again, your hero and the weapon doesn't suffer from summoning sickness or the turn delay, so you can bring this thing out and use it immediately. Only downside to it is it only has 2 durability, so you can only use it twice. Next, Frostwolf Warlord. Again, great creature. It's a 4/4 for 5 mana. I would still recommend only bringing it out when you've got at least one other creature out to make it a 5/5, because then it's kind of worth it, a 5/5 for 5 mana. I would only bring it out by itself if you're absolutely desperate and you need to get something on the field. Again, this thing coupled with, say, the Warsong Commander. Say you've got the Warsong Commander and the Shattered Sun Cleric out, and then you bring this thing out. It becomes a 6/6 with charge, and that's just fantastic. That's just not what the enemy's expecting. Next we come on to the Boulder Fist Ogre. Again, great basic card for high damage. It's a 6/7 for 6 mana. Can't say fairer than that. And then our final card, 7 mana for a Stormwind Champion. Again, it's a 6/6, and it gives you other minions +1/+1. So this one's quite heavy on the 4, 5s, and 6s, as you can see. They've got some big creatures out here, and that's just, again, if you can get them out with the Warsong Commander. Say you can bring out the Boulder Fist Ogre and the Warsong Commander on turn 9 at the same time. That's just a surprise 6 damage to someone's face, and that's just going to rock them, basically. So yeah, that is the deck. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll get into a game. 1 or 2 games, depending on how quick they go, and you can see exactly how this deck performs. So, right, where is this? There we go. Right, so let's get into a game and see how we do. So I always wish I could play some of those other names as opposed to Worthy Opponent. It always seems to give you Worthy Opponent, and I always fancy playing something like a No-Neck Jim. Excuse me. Or one of those other, like a Roguish Rogue. Or some other interesting name here. But no, it's always a Worthy Opponent. And it seems to be taking a while to find a opponent tonight. There we go. See, Nose and Mouth Breather. I would have much preferred to play a Nose and Mouth Breather rather than a Worthy Opponent. So what are we doing? Rexar now. Well, we're going first, and you know my opinions on going first. I don't think it puts you in a strong position, to say the least. So, Hunter, this is going to be interesting, because Hunters normally like to get plenty of creatures out and have lots of board control, and that is exactly what we also like to do, so this should be fun. Although most of my damage is going to be direct damage straight to the face, as you're about to see, as opposed to getting creatures out. Now again though, we don't want to lose board control, but we do want to do plenty of damage and basically scare them. So what I'm about to do here is Heroic Strike. We'll punch him in the face for 4 damage, and there we are done. Now depending on what he does, we'll either bring out the Swamp Ooze or we'll bring out the Fiery War Axe next turn. There's no point loading up with the Warsong Commander just yet, as that'll just get taken out straight away. What's that? They played the coin and some Iron Fur Grizzlies. Okay, so Fiery War Axe probably not the best idea in the world, as if I attack that I'm still going to take 3 damage, so it'll be as if he just attacked me anyway. Except it will be dead, which is something, to say the least. I think we'll bring out the Acidic Swamp Ooze.
Job's done.
Just because if he attacks me, then we kill each other. If he doesn't attack, then I'll kill it next turn. Unless he does something crazy like shoots it in the face. No, he's going to bring out a Festering Ghoul, and the Festering Ghoul is seriously annoying. So I think what we are going to have to do, we've got 4 mana, so we can afford to do... Right, we've got to take this out, because it's his taunt. We'll bring out the Fiery War Axe. Oh god, I should have done that. I've done that in totally the wrong order. We'll say oops. And then we'll kill his Festering Ghoul. So I should have done it in the other order, because then I would have only taken 1 damage as opposed to taking 2 damage there. So a little bit of a mistake on my part, but it is late at night when I'm recording this. Actually, it's not late at night, it's 9:30 in the evening. You can see the time right there in the bottom left-hand corner. So I'll just stop lying right now. What's he doing? He's playing a secret. Now that's either put your creature back into your hand, or it's something that's going to happen when we attack. So we've got a Fiery War Axe equipped, so I think what we'll do probably is Shield Block next turn if he doesn't get it. Well, he can't get a creature out, he's got 0 mana. We'll threaten him. Are you going to press next turn, friend? Ah, there we go, I think you'd forgotten. So this is going to be interesting. Right. There we go, secret. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, that's fine. I probably should have used that. But that destroys our Fiery War Axe. And we have 5 mana remaining. So we'll use this to draw some cards, see what we get. We get a Stormwind Champion. Now, yeah, we'll stick another Fiery War Axe on. We can't attack twice in a turn, because Garrosh doesn't have Wind Fury. So sometimes it is better to leave the Fiery War Axe until the next turn when you can use it straight away. But to be honest, we wanted the mana this turn for something else. Now see, we can just use Cleave here, and that's going to kill both of them. Job's a good one. And then we have 4 mana remaining, and I think we'll get ourselves a Taunt out to be a little bit safer, and then punch him in the face for 3 damage. So he's definitely getting card advantage here. He's got 6 cards in his hand. Now that's a decent card. That is definitely a decent card. It's got what? It's got 5 hit points. So we have 7 mana. So we need to try and take that thing out somehow. Now see, I was thinking about bringing that out and that out this turn, but there's no real point because this has charge anyway. And we're going to have to kill it somehow. But it's got 6 attack. To be honest, I'm tempted to just leave it be and try and race down his hit points. No, do we want to do that? Because, yeah, he can do 6 damage to me a turn. We've got 5 armor.
What now?
But he'll have to kill the Sentient Shieldmaster first, unless he's got Kill Command, which will obviously kill it. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring this out. And we'll rush his hit points down. And then we're done. So if he doesn't kill that off next turn, we're going to get this guy, or maybe this guy. Well, they're both the same. We can get this one out for 7 damage. There we go. Oh no, it's Explosive Shot. So not quite Kill Command, but he's done some serious damage. We may pay dearly for not killing that, to be honest now. He's got 10 hit points left. Boulder Fist Ogre. So that's going to be, what will that? That'll be 6 damage directly to his face. And we can armor up a little bit. Well, we can't do 2 things. We can only summon 1 thing. So I think maybe we'll bring out the Stormwind Champion. Because that'll buff up this guy a little bit. Oh, there we go. It's going to return to my hand. Oh no, deal 4 damage to it. That's fine. He can take the damage, and then actually a little bit of a mistake there again on my part because I wasn't able to armor up. But he's got 1 hit point, so basically he's got to clear the field here, or he's dead. And if I draw a weapon here, then I can just win. Whenever a friendly beast dies, gain +1, +2/+1, and that gives your beasts charge. Ah, so that's good. So these things have all got charge now. So he's going to clear the board out. And he's got 2 hyenas, and they also have charge because they are beasts. Right, well done. He's definitely come back from the brink of defeat there. But all I need to do is draw a weapon. No, I'm not allowed to draw a weapon apparently. We'll get a Boulder Fist Ogre out just because he's big. And hopefully that'll get him to attack that. Because, well, basically he's got a board clear every turn. If he doesn't board clear every turn or get a taunt out like that, then he's in trouble. Because now he can just attack my face with all those. Oh, that's kill command. And his taunt will save him next turn. But as it is, he had kill command. Oh, and that thing's just getting out of control now. He really is. He's going to win with 1 hit point. If he does, though, fair play to him, I'm going to say. All I need to do is draw a weapon or something. Well, no, even something with charge. He's got a taunt. So really, I've got to draw a weapon here, or he wins. Nope. So, well played.
Well played.
I'm not going to concede. Because
we must cleanse the Sunwell.
Because that's not the done thing. So we'll just say well played. But I can't believe he survived with 1 hit point. But that's basically the way the deck's supposed to work. You need to rush the enemy down as quickly as possible. At least he didn't. Draw it out there. He just attacked once and killed it. But we'll just quickly jump into another game, see if we can get a victory. But basically, that's the way the deck works. You need to rush them down as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, we seem to leave them with 1 hit point there, and didn't quite work out. So we'll jump into another game. See if we can show you exactly how this deck's supposed to work. Oh, and it's a worthy opponent. I would have preferred to, well, maybe not Cheetah McCheaterson. I don't think I would have liked to have played him.
Your soul shall be mine.
So we go second, and you know my opinion on going second in this game. I think it's probably... Well, I did think it was definitely better to go second, but then again, I went first earlier on when I was practicing and trying out the deck, and on turn 2 I managed to do 5 damage to their face after going first. I basically got this guy out and then that guy out in turn 2, and then that's just 5 damage directly to the face. And I think that is basically how we're going to start it again. Yeah, we need to get rid of him at some point, because that's a pretty good Warlock card. Your other minions have +1 health. So probably gonna have to do something about that, because he's not going to attack with it, he's just going to leave it there. And that's going to get very, very annoying. So we'll bring out a Fiery War Axe. And you see again, this is going to be... Oh yes, good point. And we'll get 5 damage to his face in turn 2. And there we go. So yeah, going first, doing that combo of the 5 damage direct to face, they've done nothing. They can't really do anything. So I thought he would do that, because then he gets to draw another card. That could come back to bite him in the ass though later on, because this deck has a tendency to apply a lot of surprise damage, as you're about to see, probably, hopefully anyway. So that's it. We've got the Acidic Swamp Ooze out. If he doesn't deal with that, it's going to be another 3 damage to his face. Oh, there we go. He gets a taunt with 6 health, thanks to the Imp. Not a big fan of that Imp, to be honest. Right, what have we got? We've got 4 mana, but I can bring out an Arcanite Reaper. But it's not going to be enough to kill the Sen'jin Shieldmaster. God damn, that thing is annoying. Right, 3, 6, they'd be enough to kill it.
What now?
But the Swamp Ooze would die. I've got just enough mana to, with the coin, that, and then the 2 of those could kill that, and then be left. Well, I'm gonna have to. I can't leave him. I can't leave him with too much on the board. We've got to. Yeah, that's basically it. We've got a board clear basically. We couldn't leave him with a Sen'jin Shieldmaster out like that. Although it did cost us 2 acidic Swamp Oozes, which probably was not worth it. But and here we go. Oh yeah, silence a minion. Don't blame me for that one. Alright, what have we got? We've got 5 mana, which means Mr. Arcanite Reaper is coming out to play. Now, I would think... No, you know what? Mr. Arcanite Reaper's not coming out to play just yet. We are going to get the Sen'jin Shieldmaster out to play. And that's going to take a hit from him. Ah, a Fen Creeper. 3/7. God, this imp. 2 of them, Jesus. Right, this is getting a little bit hairy now, to be honest. And another Arcanite Reaper. Right. We're going to have to start using some of these Arcanite Reapers. Let's have a look. We could get him out, but she's silenced. Right, let's have a look. We need to do 8 damage. We could do 10. So that and that will kill that. She can kill that. Yeah, we'll do that. Arcanite Reaper. We haven't got enough mana to armor up, so we're just going to have to take 3 damage to our face. We'll get the Sen'jin Shieldmaster to take that out. And, oh, nearly clicked on the imp there. Oh, well, I can't because it's stealthed. And that's it for our turn. Let's hope he doesn't have an acidic Swamp Ooze sat there. But he's got a couple of imps. He's not going to want to attack with those. Because they're buffing his creatures considerably. What do we have? We have another Shieldmaster. Well, first things first. Let's do 5 damage direct to his face. Right, we've got 7 mana. So it means we can bring out our Taunt and armor up. And that's it for our turn. Next turn we can do another 5 damage to his face. I don't know if he knows it. We're probably quite lucky to draw 2 Arcanite Reapers. Ah. Killing off the Sen'jin Shieldmaster, and there we go. That's a death rattle. So he does 2 damage when he dies. Luckily we were armoured up. And yeah, he's definitely getting board control here, so we're going to have to do something about it. Oh, we've got Cleave, which is handy if we can hit both of those. Because, see, these are stealthed, which means that it can't be attacked or targeted, but Cleave isn't a targeted ability. It just randomly hits people. And just being random like that means it can hit things that are stealthed. Because again, it's not a target. Anything that says either hits all minions or hits random minions can hit stealth things. Ooh, now that's lucky. I was going to say, if he doesn't get a taunt or a heal out, then he is dead, basically. Oh, and there we go. Plenty of healing. Son of a bitch. Right. We'll bring the Witch Doctor out. Heal ourselves up. Arcanite Reaper his face. Bring out Boulder Fist Ogre and armor up a little bit. So basically now he's got 6 hit points left. So he's got to kill this turn. He's got to do 7 damage to this turn, or he is dead, or bring out a taunt. If he doesn't, then that's GG. So he's got to bring out a taunt or kill this in a single turn, or it's game over. To be honest, if he hasn't got the cards in his hand to do that, I would use Life Tap. Even though it does damage. Okay, I don't know why he's silenced. Well, he's got to silence something, I suppose. Deal 4 damage, discard a card. Well, there we go. He's going to kill it, which is good for him. Oh, there we go. He's bringing his guy out of stealth. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring another Boulder Fist Ogre out and give it +1/+1. We can't armor up, but again, he's now got to get a taunt out or do 8 damage, or he's dead. But he does have card advantage. He's got 3 cards. Deal 3 damage to all characters.
Well played.
But he's elected to kill himself. So GG, thank you very much, Mr. Warlock. But that's basically how the warrior deck works. It's just all about overpowering and overwhelming your opponent for the victory. So that's going to be it for this episode of Hearthstone, the basic warrior deck overview. Again, this deck can be built with nothing but basic cards, so you don't need to buy any cards. The only prerequisite is you need to be at least level 10. But you level up even when you lose, so you could just lose all the way to level 10, then build this deck, and then hopefully start winning. So I have been Maxwell, this has been Hearthstone. If you enjoyed this and found it useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Hearthstone content, and I will catch you next time.